People of Reddit. With Omegle shutting down, what are some crazy stories about the site? Number 1. Those weird games where you'd get a point if you smile, 5 points if you wave, and so on. I was 13 and one of my friends sent me a video of myself as a child that someone posted. It was awful. Number 2. When me and my friends were about 13, we used to spoof the camera to show a topless female webcammer. We would offer a sex show to anyone we deemed to be a weird horny dude, providing they first coated their face in peanut butter. You would be amazed how many people went along with it. Once they were smothered in peanut butter and had their cocks out, we would switch the camera back to showing a bunch of 13-year-old lads crying their eyes out, pointing at them, and taking pictures on our Nokia. Number 3. Weirdest one. Sat around bored with my best friend smoking weed and hanging out on Omegle. Came across some random American guys smoking weed too. We noticed they had the exact same Bosch drill we had at the time in the background. Proceeded to lift it up and the guys had a laugh. They showed other random items and I kid you not, for like 5 or 6 more items we had the exact same items. Had a really good laugh about that. Number 4. 2 biggest memories from friends and I back in the day using it were. Came across a cam that was fully enclosed as a Hello Kitty head photo / cutout. My friend and I stared at it for a few minutes waiting for whatever the gag would be. Then after minutes of staring at it we finally realized it. The nose was a guy's penis head where they cut out a hole in the picture and had their dick through it. Group of friends messing around on it again came across some guy who was sitting in a chair just giving himself the sloppiest head ever. Number 5. I was on Omegle with my cousin and my brother and we came across a very old man who was naked, sitting in an armchair in a cluttered / hoarder-esque living room with a keyboard on his lap and Uptown Funk blaring in the background. Honestly, it was hilarious witnessing that and hearing Bruno Mars say, "Don't believe me, just watch," in the background. Number 6. I tried Omegle once with a female friend sitting next to me. Our experience was, man jerking off, man jerking off, man jerking off. Man's opening line, "So, you gonna R8P the bitch or not? Get your tits out. Show your feet. Fuck that girl, yeah? Man jerking off. Man jerking off." Didn't go back. Number 7. I have a friend who matches with some smoking hot girl and she convinced him to take his clothes off and jack off for her. After he was well into doing it, the stream was killed and some guy's voice was heard demanding money or else he was going to post videos of him online. Number 8. I had a friend with problems stream his Omegle sessions. He died of alcohol poisoning while streaming on the site. We figured he blacked out. It wasn't until the next morning when the stream was still up and the cops and mortician were moving his body out of the room. Number 9. Not disturbing but a wholesome moment. I was over at my buddy's house a few years ago. We were drinking and having a good time and I suggested we go on Omegle for some laughs. The first person we ran into was a man in his garage. Behind this man sat a giant real fire truck. Drunkenly we asked him to turn the lights and sirens on. He didn't waste any time and got right into the truck and proceeded to give us an entire tour. We spoke with him for a half hour, talking all things fire trucks and what got him into collecting decommissioned fire trucks. I still have the video of it and it's my best memory of the site. Good times? Number 10. Not disturbing in comparison to these other comments I guess, but when I was in high school this man's camera was at crotch level and he was wearing American flag underwear. I asked him if he really loved America. And he said no, I'm British. Number 11. On Omegle doing Omegle things. Come across this really hot chick. She was already half naked from the waist down. I'm assuming she was in another chat with another guy and he busted and got off. At this point in time I was just chilling. Just talking to random people and having a few laughs. But this chick comes on and I'm like fuck it. She tells me she wants to see my dick and watch me jerk. I politely oblige and after a few minutes of us dirty talking and watching each other masturbate, she asks me what kind of toothpaste I have. I tell her the brand and ask her why? Go get it and jerk off with it. I think it's hot as fuck. Oh sure. As soon as I start rubbing it in and get my dick lathered with the toothpaste, she starts laughing and disconnects. Within a few seconds I realized what was going on. She was going from chat to chat convincing guys to do this and then leaving them with not only blue balls but a burning cock as well. Number 12. I can't remember if it was Omegle or chat roulette but my buddy and I were cycling through drunk and smoking the devil's lettuce. A dude from New Zealand or Australia popped up. He was pretty chill and we're talking weed stuff and he's like, "Hey, want to see something?" Sure. Suddenly we're up and moving, laptop in hand, go through the house, opens the door outside, starts walking out to a field. Gets to the edge of the field, stops. The picture comes into view and he's sitting there grinning like the sun. A field of weed, possibly hemp, behind as far as you can see in every direction. He was cool. Everything else was dudes jerking off though. Number 13. Met one of my closest friends on there in April 2009, shortly after Omegle launched. She visited me in Finland in 2010 and I visited her in Brazil in 2016 and I hope to see her again soon. Oh, and I also met an Indian guy on there in 2010 and I'm currently watching TV with his sister in his parents' living room in Delhi. We live in California together and have been married for 4 years. Met them both before the video side was launched. It was much more innocent back then. Number 14. I actually have a positive story. When I was 15, I was randomly scrolling through Omegle out of boredom and met a random other teen my age. We talked for an hour about music we liked and other random topics. Had a fine conversation. After that we added each other on Facebook and didn't talk again for 3 years. Eventually I was admitted to college and was selling some headphones on a Facebook group for buying and selling items at the university. I get a random message from a girl who was interested in buying them and after chatting we came to realize we had met on Omegle 3 years prior and had both decided to go to the same university by complete chance. Ever since then we've been close friends. Maybe some people have met a bunch of weirdos, but I look back fondly on the website for connecting us. That's going to be all of the Omegle stories from Reddit for today. Subscribe if you are a fan of weird, dark, and funny stories from Reddit.